As part of your overall job search strategy then, there are a number of factors that you may want to consider when you're thinking about finding work. So it isn't often just as simple as where do they need to be and what kind of company are they. So it's worth thinking about the sector that the organisation may be in. So perhaps the sector might be an area of interest for you. Maybe it's the food or the consumer goods or entertainment or financial services or whatever it might be. And there might be a number of sectors that you might find of interest. So you have a particular skill set, so it might be IT or retail management or whatever it is. But that might be applied and useful in a number of different sectors. So it's worth not just restricting yourself perhaps to the one you're familiar with, but actually thinking about how that might work in other sectors where maybe there might be more demand. So looking at areas of interest, things you're passionate about, areas that you might have had previous experience in, areas that are currently developing and growing very fast, or maybe just something to try something new. So the size of the organisation is another factor. So some employers, obviously you may fit better within a large employer or a small organisation, or a very corporate multinational kind of environment, or maybe a more medium-sized company. So a lot of that is to do with where I guess you feel most comfortable. So even if you look back at the type of organisations you worked for before, you will probably have a sense of which of them you fitted best within. And then think also about the type of organisation. So is it a startup? Is it a more mature business? Is it something that's developing very fast? Do you want something that's very structured or process driven, highly regulated, or are you interested in an environment that's much more creative and dynamic? So again, they're important factors. And one of the most important things that people often don't think about when they're looking for a prospective employer is to think about their own values and how well the values will match with the prospective employer, because the more of a match there is, the more likely you are to sit in front of a hiring manager who you get on with and who shares the same values as you, and you feel like you're on the same page. So you'd want to think about things like, what's important to you. Is family friendliness, is recognition, is honesty, integrity, customer service, all those things, are they important to you? And are they important to the prospective organisation that you're thinking about? So some of them might be deal breakers, others might be less important that you'd be prepared to compromise on. But it's often good to just have thought about these things rather than finding yourself having done an interview and maybe being offered a job and that you're still not entirely sure whether it's the right fit for you. So it's good to often think about these things in advance. And lastly, the geographic location. So for instance, is it an organisation that's in the local area, within your town or city, and another city, county, or even in another country? So again, these are all the different factors that are worth considering when you're thinking about your job search. And other aspects to the type of role that are worth thinking about as well, and this is an exercise that you can get a printout of and complete yourself. So actually scoring yourself on how important each of these aspects is to you in your role. So if technical or functional competence, so that you want people to know that you're an expert and to be thought of as being a bit of a guru at whatever it is that you do. Rating that as 1 is not very important and 5 is very important. That can be really useful, knowing that going into a job where, perhaps if you're providing support on something, that's actually really an important thing. The next factor is managerial competence, so that you are happy to manage other people, that you like managing other people, and that you want to have that responsibility for managing other people. So again, that might be 3 or 4 or 5, or it might be 1 because you're just happy to manage yourself and be managed, as it were. Some people like a lot of autonomy and independence and to work on their own in their own way. Security and stability is about avoiding risk and having as much predictability and security within your role as possible, and for others that's less important. E there is entrepreneurial creativity, so being able to invent things and be creative and actually share those things with other people. It doesn't necessarily mean that you are someone who starts a business, but certainly that you're, I suppose, a starter and someone who can create and share things with others, even in the context of another organisation. F is someone who's dedicated to a cause or to supporting or serving others, so, or often just to the greater good, so perhaps charities and not-for-profits. So they are often driven by helping people as well as using their talents. They use their talents to help people. A lot of people like a lot of challenge in their role, and some people like something that's, again, not terribly challenging. So again, everyone is different. And lastly, their lifestyle. So understanding how you want to work, and perhaps the type of role that you want to have actually that wraps around your lifestyle and the kind of life that you want to have.